Okay, hi everyone. Welcome. I'm going to give Facebook a few minutes to let everyone know we're live. If you're just joining in and you're already on, say hello so that I know you're here. And today we're going to do about a 30-minute yin yoga practice, so have a blanket handy too if you've got it. All right, I'm going to check on my other computer, see that we're live to the whole group before we get started. All right, so I don't see that I'm live yet. It says I'm live. Oh, hi, Ellen. Great, thank you. Now I know you can all see me. All right, so as you're coming into the room, say hello. The more you say hello in the comments to let people know you're here, the more it'll broadcast the video to other people and let them know that we've gone live. All right, so now that I know we're live, thanks so much, Ellen. Welcome. So today we're going to do about a 30-minute yin yoga practice to bring some spaciousness to your hips and some movement to your spine. One of the things I've been hearing from a lot of you is you want to move more because you've been sitting a lot and that you're feeling overly stressed right now. And so today's practice will be a gentle yin practice. To counter the sitting, it'll be a yin practice, so it'll be gentle and still. However, we're going to counter going in the opposite direction of our normal habits that our body's in when we're sitting. And then we're going to bring some mindfulness to it with our breath work and our attention so that we can also get that relaxed state for our nervous system, and you can find a state of relaxation after class, and it will be a great way to find stress relief. For today's class, have a blanket handy. If you're just joining in and it's the first time you're meeting me, I'm Becky Brose. Welcome, glad to have you here. I help people with chronic tension, tightness, stiffness, and pain release their habitual holding patterns in their body, build balance, strength, and mobility so that they can feel at ease and comfortable in their body and enjoy their everyday activities again. So everyone can lead a healthy and active lifestyle. Today after class, I'm going to leave some time to answer questions. Enrollment for my 10-week online yoga immersion, Whole Body Reset, Refine, and Realign is open. And there's been some questions coming in through email, so I'll cover those and I'll also answer any questions for those of you who are here. So you can get all your questions answered and know that if it's the right program for you. So I want to get right into practice first, so we'll come to your mat. All right, I see some more people joined us, so say hello in the chat so that I know you're here. And have a blanket handy for practice today. All right, so to begin, we're going to start seated. If you have your blanket, you can have it folded in half and sit right up on the edge of it in a cross-legged position. If you don't have a blanket, sit directly down on your mat. And then bring your hands to your thighs. Allow your eyes to fall on a spot ahead of you, or close your eyes completely. We'll start to center in on your breath. So take a breath in through your nose and breathe out through your nose. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose. Inhale. Exhale. And then bring your hands to heart center, press your palms together, and set an intention for practice. So during today's practice, I offer the intention to be aware of your body sensations and release all judgment. This is an excellent way to start to learn more about your body. So can you be present and aware? So take a breath in together. And exhale, seal your own intention. If your eyes are closed, you can open them. For today's first pose, we're going to take square pose. So if you're seated up on a blanket, stay up on the blanket and sit right on the edge. And a couple of options. So square pose number 1, you're going to stagger your feet, one shin in front of the other. You'll notice that you're starting to pour your pelvis forward as you're coming to the edge of the blanket. Option number 2 is to stack your left ankle on top of your right thigh. And then let your shins be parallel and flex your feet. So option 1, shin in front of shin. Option 2, bring your left ankle on top of your right thigh so you're stacking your left shin. Now, you might come into square pose and your left knee might be up really high. As long as there isn't any pressure on the insides of your knee, that's okay to stay there, or you can step back to the shin in front of shin position. So everyone's going to look a little bit different. And then bring your hands by your side. Start to sit up tall. Ground your seat down into the ground. Lengthen up through your spine. You can stay just as you are. You may already feel this in your outer hips. If you want a little bit more, breathe in. And then as you exhale, start to shift the weight of your torso forward just enough so that you start to feel it in your outer hips. You can use your hands on the ground to control how far forward that you come. So the more your torso comes forward, the more you're going to feel this in your hips. However, to get the most benefit from today's practice, once you feel that you've created tension somewhere in the body, then stay there and follow that sensation and be aware of the sensation. And then if the sensation dissipates, it goes away, you could bring your body further forward. So I'm going to stay here. You may be more upright than me, or you may be further folded forward than me. But now that you've found the first place where you feel sensation in your outer hips, or maybe in your low back, depending on your body, anchor your awareness back to your breath. So in today's practice, we'll hold each pose for a few minutes. And when I say hold in these yin poses, we're not holding on for dear life. We're holding for time. So if you do feel like, wow, how much longer are we here? This is pretty intense. Come out of the pose a little bit so that you're able to stay in the pose and feel sensation in your body where you feel it, yet not want to run from it. It's in holding the pose for time that the fascia, in this case along the outsides of the legs and around your outer hips and low back, is allowed to start to reorganize, and after practice, that'll give your body more mobility at your hip joints. So inhale, come back up. Uncross your legs. I like to use my hands to give my body a little kindness to switch. And then extend your legs out long at first. And simply notice sensation in your body. So without any judgment, notice what's going on up and down your legs, around your hip joints, in your low back. And then we'll switch sides. So come to cross-legged again. This time, you're going to either stack your shins parallel, your right shin in front of your left, or come to a square pose and stack your right ankle on top of your left thigh and then flex both feet. Allow your left shin to come parallel with the long edge of your mat. Again, feel like you're sitting right on the edge of the blanket so that your pelvis can start to rotate forward already. Now, when we come to a cross-legged position, we usually have a favorite side. So there's a good chance that now that we've switched sides, this side might be your tighter side, which is why it wasn't your preference to start with. So you may notice that this side is very different. Maybe your right knee wasn't up super high on your left knee wasn't up super high on the other side, but it is on this side, and that's okay. That's where you're starting to build body awareness and notice the differences in your body. And so bring your hands by your side again. Start to ground your seat into your mat. Press equally through the left and right side of your seat, and then elongate. Draw your belly button in and up and reach the top of your head to the ceiling. Keep this length you've created. Breathe in. And then exhale, hinge forward any amount. If this is very intense around your hips, you may stay seated upright, or you might start to fold forward. Remind yourself that this side's different than the other side, so the depth that you fold forward may not be the same. And then again, we'll stay here for time. So now that you've chosen your edge, that place where you feel it, yet you can stay for a few minutes, bring your awareness to the muscles of your legs, particularly your inner thighs and your outer hips. Are you gripping or holding on? Are you engaging the muscles? If so, send your awareness there and release the holding. Notice as you release the muscular holding, it's as if your bones can release a little bit. And then anchor your awareness on the breath for a moment. If you notice your breathing is smooth and even, you've probably chosen a perfect place to stay. If it's a little choppy, take your body upright a little bit to lessen the intensity. Now send your awareness to sensation in your body. Notice what it is you notice. If it helps, you can give a name to the sensation that you're feeling, without a story and without judgment. A one-word name will do. And you can stay anchored with your awareness on that sensation. Or now that you've learned a little bit about your body, anchor your awareness back into your breathing. And then inhale, rise your body back up. You can use the help of your hands if you want. As you exhale, extend your legs forward, straight out in front of you. I'm going to turn to the side and stay seated up on your blanket. Extend both legs out in front. And again, notice what you notice in your legs. Do you feel any coolness, warmth, or energy running up and down your legs, around your outer hips, or in your low back? Simply take note of that. And then sitting up on the edge of the blanket, sit up nice and tall. Relax the muscles of your feet, ankles, and legs. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale, come into caterpillar pose. At first, hinge right at your hip crease till you feel tension in the backs of your legs or in your low back. And then once you feel that tension, if it's okay for your spine and it feels all right, you can start to round your spine and drop your head. As many of you know, with diffuse spine, I don't round much. So allow your body to round as it likes to round. And if for some reason folding forward isn't appropriate for your body today, come down onto your back and instead draw your knees into your chest. You can stay there for the pose, which would be an upside down child's pose variation. That'll help you create length along your spine and start to warm up around your hips. For those of you folded forward, let there be a soft bend in your elbows. Let your hands relax. You might want to turn your palms to face the ceiling. And then let your arms relax and drape away from your shoulder sockets. And now send the awareness to sensation in your body. Start down at your feet. Notice if you're tensing through your toes or your ankles. If you are, let the muscles relax. Check in with your calves and shins. Relax the muscles around your knees. Release muscular tension in your quads, the tops of your thighs, and your hamstrings, the backs of your legs. And then send your awareness back to your breath. Re-anchor on your breathing. And then imagine in your mind's eye that on each exhale, your body melts forward a little bit more. That each exhale is able to provide a sense of relief. And maybe the body actually goes forward all on its own without effort. Or maybe you stay just as you are, simply imagining the body opening up and letting go. So caterpillar pose is opening up the whole back line of your body, from the backs of your heels, through the backs of your calves, hamstrings, along the whole length of your spine. But it's all right, allow your head to drop. Press your hands down into the mat now as you inhale. Reverse direction, come back up just the opposite way you came in. Allow a soft smile to grace your face. And then take yourself off the blanket and come all the way down to the mat. Have your blanket handy, we'll use it a little bit later. So once you come all the way down to the floor, lay flat down on your back. And become a pencil. Extend your legs long, reach your arms up and overhead. And then banana asana. Walk your legs over to the left side. And then walk your upper body over to the left side so you're shaped like a banana. You can keep your arms straight up overhead or hold on to opposite wrists. Even opposite elbows. It's okay if your forearms are up in the air. This will help start to open up around the shoulders. Now your banana may be fine just as it is, and it may be a little straight, and maybe a very curvy banana, but allow your hips, the back of your pelvis, to anchor to the floor, and then the curves to initiate from there, with your feet walking over to the left side, your shoulders walking over to the left. And you can even gaze over to the left to start to open up the right side of your neck slightly. If you'd like to target your IT band, the band of fascia on the outside of your thigh a little more, cross your right ankle over your left, knowing that you could always place both feet back down on the floor if that didn't serve the purpose of this pose for you today. then send your awareness back to your breathing. Begin to count the length of your inhale and the length of your exhale. And then count the length of your inhale. And let the length of your exhale be just as long as the length of your inhale. And then practice that on your own, breathing in and breathing out for the same length of time. On your next inhale, walk your legs back to center. Walk your upper body back to center. If your arms need a break, you can relax them down by your side for a moment. And when you're ready, set up Banana Asana on the second side. With your hips grounded on your mat, walk your legs over to the right side. And then walk your upper body over to the left side. Nope, walk your upper body over to the right side too. And then if you have your forearms, put the opposite forearm on top this time. You can gaze straight up to keep your neck neutral, or take a gentle gaze to the right to open up the left side of your neck. As you anchor the back of your hips on the floor, this will create a grounding point so you can start to open up the whole side seam on the left side of your body. Again, you have the option to cross your left ankle this time over your right. You want to intensify the feeling of tension along the outside of your left thigh. And then settle, relax your body into the shape. Release any muscular holding. And let the shape, time, and gravity be what opens you up here. And then send your awareness to your breathing. With mindful awareness of your breath, count the length of the inhale. And then see if the length of the exhale is just as long as the inhale. Go a few breaths on your own, creating this equal breathing, Samavritti. Breathing in for just as long as you're breathing out. Using equal breathing can start to calm the nervous system while keeping you energized at the same time. So I do appreciate it's the middle of the day or even the morning for some of you. So we'll use equal breathing to have this refreshed, renewed, yet calm sense after practice. On your next inhale, walk your body back to center. Walk your shoulders back to center. Find your pencil again. And then release your arms by your side. You may want to stay laying flat, or you might want to bend your knees. Your choice. And then again, bring awareness to your body. What do you notice when you come out of the pose? You're taking a gentle side bend to open up the left and right side seams. And then we'll move to supported bridge. So grab your blanket. Some of you may want to start on the lowest height of your blanket, so just a few inches high. Others of you may want to fold your blanket in half. Now I know for my body I can fold my blanket in half and this height is okay for me. So the first time you're doing this, you may want to try with a lower blanket and then go with the higher height. So set your feet your hip distance apart, press your feet firmly down into the ground, and then inhale, lift your hips up and slide your blanket right back behind your pelvis. So rather than have it supported by your low back, have it supported by your sacrum and the back of your pelvis. And then relax your arms by your side, and you can stay right here and focus on your breathing for the next few moments. Or, if you want a little bit more, start to walk your legs away from you. Now you may still have a bend in your legs as you walk your legs further away. That feels good. You may want to walk your feet even further away from you. And then some of you may want to take your legs all the way straight and let the back of your pelvis rest onto the blanket. So choose where you want to work. You may also stay with bent knees for the first minute and then play with walking your feet further away from you as you go. We're looking to counter sitting. So in sitting, our hip joints in flexion all the time. And now we're starting to take our hip joint into extension to open up the front line of the legs, the front line of the body, and also start to lengthen your psoas muscles. So your psoas muscles connecting the lower half of your body with the upper half of your body. You can stay just as you are, or if it feels good, you could take your arms straight up overhead behind you and rest them on the floor. Your choice. A lot of this practice is finding what works for you and appreciating what your body wants that day. So one day you may take a variation of the pose, and the next day you might take a different variation of the pose because that's what serves you best on that particular day. So send your awareness to your body. Where are you muscularly holding on? Can you send your awareness there and release the muscular tension? It may be in your feet or your hips, even your inner thighs or ankles. And if when you send the awareness there, you're not able to relax the muscles, back up a little bit. Maybe bend your knees a little more and walk your feet in closer. And if you've straightened your legs any amount, start to walk your feet back in with your knees bent. Firmly ground your feet into the ground, and then using your strength, inhale, pick your hips up, slide the blanket out of the way, and then as you exhale, lower down slowly. So some of the effect of this pose certainly gets felt as you come out of it. So once you've lowered down, you can stay with your knees bent, or if intuitively you're like, I would love to do this right now, please take that thing that you would love to do. And then notice how the body feels. When you're ready to move on, extend your arms out into a T, then cross your left leg over your right. If your SI joint's bothering you, stay together with bent knees instead of crossing your legs. If you're coming to twisted roots, cross your left leg over your right. Whether you've crossed your legs or you have bent knees, inhale, float your feet up off the floor, and then exhale, spinal twist to the left. Drop your legs over to the left side. Keep your arms out into a T. If the legs cross seems like a little much for you, feel free to bend your knees instead and drop them to the left. And then have the intention that the weight of your shoulders are going toward the floor without efforting them toward the floor. To begin to open up across the front of your chest and your neck, look over to your left thumb. And then send awareness to your breathing. Check in, see if your breathing is smooth and even. If it is, send your awareness to your body and notice sensation. If it's useful, give that sensation a name. And when you're comfortable with the sensation, bring your awareness back to your breathing. And then return your gaze to center. Inhale your legs back to center, uncross. Bring your feet back down to the floor as you exhale. Recenter your hips and set up for the other side. Keep both knees bent or move to twisted roots. Cross your right leg over your left. Inhale, float your legs up off the floor. And then exhale, twist to the right this time. Drop your legs over to the right. Have the intention that your shoulders are going toward the floor without efforting them there. And then look over to your right thumb. Bring awareness to your breathing. Relax any muscular holding in your body. And then inhale, bring your legs back to center and play with sensation. As you exhale, drop your legs over to the right, just as they are. This time, drop your legs over to the left, and then this time gaze to the right, away from your legs. How has sensation changed? What sensation can you bring awareness to in your body? Then inhale your legs back to center. If they're crossed, switch the crossed left leg on top. Breathe in at center. And then exhale, drop your legs over to the right into a twist. This time gaze to the left, over to your left thumb. And again, tap into sensation. Bring awareness to your body. Without judgment or saying this is very different than one side or why is this like this. Notice your sensation and give it a name if it's helpful. And then relax and release the muscles. Let the shape open up the fascia of your body. Inhale your legs back to center. Uncrossed if you cross them. Inhale, lift your hips up a little bit. And then exhale, lower them back down. And we'll move into Shavasana. So if you'd like to take a rolled blanket underneath the backs of your thighs, just above your knees, that may be nice for your back. Or you can extend your legs straight out. We're going to rest legs flat down on your back. If you have a second blanket, you can cover your body up for a little warmth and grounding. And then once you've laid down, let the spacing between your legs be comfortable. Release your arms by your body. Allow your head to rest back. And then take one final scan. Release tension in the space between your eyes. Soften the skin of your cheeks. Separate your teeth. Allow the weight of your shoulders to drape to the floor below you. Give the weight of your arms and the backs of your hands to the earth. Soften through your abdomen. Let go and release through your low back and outer hips. Allow the muscles of your legs, ankles, and feet to relax. Allow your body to take in the last 30 minutes of practice. We'll rest here for a few moments, and I'll let you know when it's time to come back. Begin to wake your body back up. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Bend your knees. You can roll over to your right side. Use your hands as a pillow. And begin to press yourself up to a comfortable seat. Find a cross-legged position. And bring your hands to heart center. And then pause for a moment. Thank yourself for the last 30 minutes, for connecting with your breath, bringing awareness back to your body, and taking time simply for you. Bring your thumbs to the place in between your eyebrows, your third eye center. We say together, Namaste. All right, welcome back. I'm going to move in a little bit closer. If you have water nearby, grab a glass of water. So when we practice the yin style practice, where we're holding the poses for time, what we're doing, as some of you know who've been with me for a while, or who joined me the other week for the yoga and back care challenge, the yin practices are creating tension in our fascia, which is a connective tissue that lines our whole body. And one of the things that does, it gives us mobility after practice when we start to realign it. But it also stimulates the tissue to produce hyaluronic acid, which is going to draw in a lot of water to help rehydrate. And in order for the tissue to rehydrate itself, you need to be hydrated. So be sure to drink some water. I'm going to grab mine. I put it here so I would remember to. And for those of you who are looking at habit change, doing those small things like setting a glass of water around or leaving yourself a little note that this is what you want to do today is a really easy way to begin to create those habits you're looking for. I know some of you had emailed me about how to create new habits, and that's one little trick I like to use. Okay, so thanks for joining me for practice today. If you're going to go for a walk later today, you're bound to feel a little bit lighter and freer in your stepping. We loosened up the hips, the outsides of the legs, as well as your spine. One of the things I wanted to do today was answer questions about whole body reset, refine, and realign. So as many of you know, enrollment's officially open for my 10-week online yoga immersion, Whole Body Reset, Refine, and Realign. And this is an online yoga program with a live teaching and question and answer component. And the program's designed to help you release chronic holding patterns in your body. So if you're feeling chronic stiffness, tightness, or aches and pains in your body, the program's designed to help you relieve those aches and pains, realign your body. You may even find you improve your posture, but realign your body and bring it back into balance, and then build balance, strength, and mobility so that one, you feel at ease and comfortable in your body again, and two, so you can go out and enjoy all those activities that you love to do, whether it be hiking, gardening, running around with kids and grandkids, skiing. And some of you have asked why I created this program. So first of all, Whole Body Reset, Refine, and Realign is a combination of what I've learned over the last 20 years to keep back pain, shoulder pain, and hip pain at bay in my own body. And so I was really fortunate 20 years ago to discover yoga. And I discovered it a few years after I'd had surgery, spinal fusion surgery for scoliosis. And I was young then, so the aches and pains weren't too much. But once I got into my late 20s, I know it's such a young age, but once I got into my late 20s, my body was starting to feel aches and pains. And I knew when I'd go to my yoga practice, I felt so much better. So eventually I became a yoga teacher and a yoga teacher trainer and discovered different styles of yoga. And now I've created Whole Body Reset, Refine, and Realign to share with people like you who may feel imbalances in your musculature, that one side's weaker than the other, or that your pelvis feels a little bit uneven, or your spine, your back is giving you some aches and pains, or your shoulders and neck are constantly bothering you. And so in Whole Body Reset, Refine, and Realign, I've combined strength building yoga, strength and flexibility building yoga practices, along with yin yoga to target the fascia and release chronic holding patterns that the body's developed over time. And then also added a guided mindfulness meditation section to help calm your nervous system. Because when your nervous system is stressed out, it actually sends physical tension to your body, which may also be contributing to some of the aches and pains that you could be feeling in your body. And so I'll give you a little short summary of Whole Body Reset, Refine, and Realign. I want to let you know, for those of you who are here, if you have any questions, go ahead and type them in the comment section as we're going, and then I'll be sure to answer them. I have some that came in through email that I'll cover, but if you're here and you have some, go ahead and type them in. So in a nutshell, Whole Body Reset, Refine, and Realign is a 10-week program divided into 5 modules that are going to journey you through your body. So if our body over time has developed imbalances in flexibility, imbalances in strength, that one side's weaker and one side's stronger, and this could be in different areas of the body. One side might be strong in one area and then weak in another area. Or if you've developed chronic holding patterns, which is that stiffness and tightness that you feel, we want to bring the body back into balance. And so rather than a spot care approach that, oh, my shoulder hurts, so I need to specifically look at my shoulder, a lot of times, and it's the fascia that can be responsible for this, that pain, well, it can be several things actually, that pain that you're feeling may be actually caused by an imbalance somewhere else. And so over the 5 modules, you're going to work first on your feet and legs, and we'll look at posture alignment and realigning the feet and legs by building balance, strength, and mobility and releasing holding patterns there. Then in the next module, we'll balance the hips and the pelvis. We'll work our way up to the spine, go to your shoulder, go build core strength and work on balance, and then unwind your shoulders and your neck. And so by working the program where we're working from the ground up, you're going to start to see effects pretty quickly. In the first week, students already talk about how their postures, and that's just the feet and legs module, that their posture is already starting to improve from what they're learning and applying in their bodies. And by the second module, when we're on hips and pelvis, people are already getting these big ahas. And then that just continues to accumulate as you go through all 5 modules to reset your body from the ground up. In each module, you have a little 15 to 20 minute anatomy talk. And I don't want you to be scared by the word anatomy. It's simply a little 15 or 20 minute segment to teach you about the area of the body that we're working on, what about it is important for you to know, being a human in a body, that you can apply to your yoga poses, to your yoga practice, as well as to your everyday life. So this program's really designed to last you long term and teach you about your body in a way that sets you up for an active lifestyle. So then we'll take that anatomy talk that's in each module. So we'll use feet and legs as an example. And then you'll do a 1-hour yoga workshop where you'll apply that anatomy knowledge into your yoga poses and learn about alignment of the yoga poses. So if you've ever gone to a yoga class and wondered, what the heck am I supposed to be doing? This workshop breaks that all down for you. And then I'll give different alternatives of poses to help you customize the practice for your body. And also so that whenever you revisit the program, you may start to progress and take different options for each of the poses. After the workshop, you'll take the same poses that you've just learned and have a full hour-long hatha yoga class. This is going to help build strength and flexibility in the area of the body that you're working. You'll also have an hour-long yin yoga class to increase your mobility. And so we'll release the fascia, this connective tissue I was talking about, similar style practice to what we did today. And then you'll also have a 20-minute guided meditation each week. And that could be something that you listen to on days you're not practicing yoga. If you're looking to build a meditation practice, you might listen to it every morning. Or if you're looking to sleep better, the yoga is going to help you sleep better. And you also have the meditation that you could listen to guide you off to sleep. And through the 5 modules, the meditation is going to be different for each. So you may find 1 or 2 that you really love, and those become your go-tos for your practice. And so the reason you have these different classes in each of the modules is because I realized when I started practicing yoga, I learned in a college classroom. So I was going 2 to 3 times a week to my college class, learning the yoga pose alignment, and then taking the yoga class. So when I walked into a yoga classroom, I never had that feeling of, I don't know what I'm doing. Well, I have had that when they teach when they teach postures I haven't experienced before. But for the majority of class, I didn't have that experience of going into a yoga classroom and being like, what am I supposed to do? Because I'd learned it in an alignment-based way, workshop format to start with. And that's why every module of this program, from your feet and legs all the way up to your shoulders and neck, you're going to be learning poses and learning their alignment so that you can have a solid foundation for your yoga practice and know how to do the poses that best works for your body. So because I'd learned in that way, when I went to yoga classes, I wasn't in my head wondering, what am I supposed to be doing? And I also knew how to adjust the poses for my particular body, which was important since I was dealing with scoliosis and spinal fusion. I needed to know how to do the poses safely. And so in the workshop, you're going to get all that and then get to apply it right to a class. It's pretty cool. So as you go through the program, you're going to have 10 weeks to go through the modules. I'll give you access to module 1 on week 1. I know some of you will be go-getters and want to go right onto module 2. So week 2, you'll get access to module 2. And after that, every 2 weeks, you'll get access to the other modules. And the reason for that is, 1, I want you to work through the classes from the ground up so that we can really get you feeling as good as possible in your body in a short amount of time. And 2, I also don't want you to feel overwhelmed with, oh my goodness, there's all these classes. Which ones do I do and when do I do them? All right, so I see some more people joined us. If you have questions about whole body reset, refine, and realign, or any questions even about today's practice, feel free to type them in the comments section, and I'll be sure to get to them today. All right, so that's the program in a nutshell. So that's the class format. Now, the other thing that happens is when you go to yoga class, sometimes you have questions, but you can't stop the yoga class to ask those questions, or class goes on and you don't have time after class to ask how to adapt the poses for your body. Plus, right now, with the pandemic going on, a lot of us were also taking our classes online, so we're not even in a physical classroom. So what I've done to help you get personalized attention on your yoga practice is incorporated 6 live teaching and question and answer sessions into the program. And so almost every other week, you're going to have a call with me where you hop on, you get to ask me any questions you have, tell me what's going on in your body, what do you want to work on, what maybe you're struggling with or want some help with, what's going really well, and we'll be able to personalize the practice for you and develop your yoga practice. And sometimes on these calls, we're talking about the physical body. Other times on these calls, we're talking about mindset. And then other times on these calls, we're talking about habit change. So they're really a coaching call, if you will, to help you develop a solid yoga practice and a consistent yoga practice. For those of you who are thinking, well, I don't know if I'll be able to make the calls live or when are they? Once enrollment closes, which will be on Wednesday night, everyone who's enrolled in the program will let me know their availability. And then I schedule the calls so that they're most accessible for the majority of participants. And then throughout the whole program, you're going to have access to me for the 10 weeks of the program. You're going to have access to me via email and the private Facebook community to ask questions. And I'll be answering your emails, hopping in the Facebook group. Sometimes I post videos if the video is a better answer to your question. And if you can't make the call live, you'll have sent me that information. And on the call, I'll still cover the answer to your question. And the replay will be posted right into your course platform. So you'll be able to watch the replay whenever. That brings up a good point. Someone had asked about how do I access the program? Do I have to be really tech savvy to do it? You don't have to be tech savvy to do it. You simply need an internet connection. You could do the whole thing on your iPad if you're an iPad user, or you can do it on your computer, your phone, whichever works for you. You simply log in on the internet with your private username and password into the course platform. All the classes are there. You click play and you're good to go. And then all of the calls during the program, including from previous sessions, are loaded into your course portal, so you can visit the replays whenever you want. And sometimes the replays are really question and answer sessions, and other times the coaching calls, there's teachings involved, so you may want to come back and check out a short practice that we've put in there. Okay, so if there's any questions coming up, go ahead and put them in the comments. One question I did have was how whole body reset, refine, and realign is different than just taking classes either in a group class format or just taking group classes here and there online. And I've already alluded to some of that, but the way that whole body reset is really different than simply signing up to take yoga classes here and there is, one, the way I've set it up. It's specifically designed to help you start feeling great in your body and in your mind. And the reason for that is because we are doing this systematic approach to work the body from the ground up. I'm combining different styles of yoga so that we can increase mobility with the yin classes, increase relaxation in your mind, which will lead to relaxation in your body, which will occur from the yin classes as well as in the mindfulness, and then build strength and flexibility with the hatha class. Plus you'll have the workshop and the anatomical understanding to really know how your body works so that on an everyday basis you can take care of it. That being said, the way that I've sequenced each of the classes to complement each other within the module is going to be very different than just taking one class here and one class there. And then each module is going to build off the other. So you're going to start to feel better after the feet and legs module, but then once we do hips and pelvis, that's going to compound and you're going to start to feel even better. And then module after module, the effects are going to start to amplify. And that's because of the way that I've designed it. The other way it's different is you're going to have lifetime access to all the teachings and classes in the program when you're done, so that you can come back and revisit any of the classes or coaching calls after our 10 weeks together. So the 10 weeks is simply the live portion where I'm going to be there with unlimited access for you. And then after that, lifetime access to all the classes. Because what I really want is for you to have whole body reset as like a toolkit. So you have everything you need to be able to take care of your body for a lifetime. Because we all deserve to be able to feel really good in our bodies, so we can get out there and do the things that we like to do. Another question that came in, someone had said, I need help staying committed. I need motivation. So I've built that all into the program. The ways you're going to stay motivated and committed to go through the program are, one, you're not going to get access to all the modules right away. We'll work module by module so that you're not feeling overwhelmed that there's so many classes. Where do I start? I'm going to be checking in with you weekly. So you're going to get weekly emails from me to keep you going through the program. So if you want to stay on track with completing it in 10 weeks, you certainly can, because I'll be motivating you through emails and hopping in the private Facebook group each week to see how it's going with you. And you'll be hopping on those 6 live calls with me every other week. And whenever I've been part of a program where we have live calls, it's been awesome because I know the call's coming up. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to make sure to do these things so that I have questions that I can ask when the coaching call comes. And I've seen from previous students who've gone through the program the same thing. They really stay motivated to continue to work through the course because they want to be able to get all their questions answered and know how to personalize their practice when the live coaching calls come. And some students come to the live coaching calls live, and then other students, they send me their questions and then they watch the replay afterwards. So that's totally up to you how you want to do that part of the program. And then the last way you'll stay motivated is for those who want an accountability partner. I pair students up so that you have someone else who's going through the program with you and you can hold each other accountable for where you want to be in the program. Now, some of you want to be motivated and do the whole program in 10 weeks, and I'm going to be there for you the whole time so you can do that. Another question that had come in was about time. Wanting to know, how am I going to fit this in when I already feel like I'm committed to other things? And I think a lot of us can probably resonate with that. It always seems like there's just not enough time, and how do we create it? So the ways that we're going to help with time is, one, the course is totally self-paced. So you have lifetime access to the course and teachings. So if you want to go through the program and take longer than 10 weeks to do that, you most certainly can. If you want to stay on track, though, I'll be there to support you for 10 weeks and carry you through the program. The other way in helping with time is that for the classes that can be divided into 2 30-minute sessions, I've put that down below the videos, letting you know where's there a good stopping point that you could take this as 2 sessions instead of 1 session. And for some people, especially if you have a hectic work schedule, that can be really useful to have shorter practices. That being said, so some of you are worried about how will I find the time, and then someone else had asked, oh, can I practice with the program 5 days a week to create a 5-day-a-week consistent practice? That also is totally possible. You can practice with the program 5 days a week. The 5 core modules will come out over time, like I've said, and you'll also get access right away to the yoga and back care module, which is about 25-minute classes, so that if you want to be practicing 5 days a week, you'll have the courses in the program to use, as well as those 8 shorter classes in the yoga and back care module. And there's also a restorative module with 5 20-minute restorative practices. So if you want to wind down at the end of the day and make that your yoga practice for the day, you have 5 bonus restorative classes that you can do. All right, so I think those were the big questions that came in. Why it's different from a class, how can I stay committed to the program, and what are some things with time? Are there any questions for those of you who are here live that I could answer for you? I'm going to take a look at my notes and see what other questions came up. Oh, I remember what came up. someone asked me about, they said they dabble in yoga, they feel like they're a beginner. And so this is kind of for anyone who feels that they're new to yoga, or you go to yoga classes here and there, but you still feel like a beginner. Is this program for you? And the answer is it most certainly is. So whatever level of yoga you're at, you'll be able to do the program. And the reason for that is, one, you're going to have those workshops in every single module to learn alignment of the poses. So if you're brand new or you feel like you've been dabbling in yoga classes but really aren't sure what you're doing, that's going to help give you that confidence of how to align the yoga poses. Or it may be you've been practicing for a while but you're not sure of the alignment of the poses. The workshops are also going to be super useful for you for that. And one of the things I've kept in mind in this program is when we're looking to bring our body back into balance, when we want to release the tightness, the stiffness, the soreness, and build back balance, strength, flexibility, and mobility, we can use simple poses. And so the teachings in this program are simple and realistic practices, and they're at a gentle pace. So in the strength and flexibility practices, you're going to have seated and standing poses. However, we're not going to be racing through any of the practices. We're going to be mindful as we're in each of the poses so that we can start to bring balance back to the body so that both sides are just as strong as the other and create that balance support. So if you're new to yoga, this is a great slow-paced program for you. If you, on the other hand, if you're looking for something really fast-paced, it's not fast-paced because I'm looking at this as a whole wellness toolkit for you. And in order to bring the body back into balance, we want to bring awareness to what we're doing. So if you're new, if you're a beginner, this will be perfect for you. If you've been practicing for a while and you're ready to see how to use yoga to take care of your body, this is perfect. I know in the master class, I had some teachers, and there's actually a teacher who's in the program right now ask about the course. Is it appropriate for me if I'm a teacher? And most certainly it is. What you'll learn in Whole Body Reset that'll help with your teaching is, one, a little bit better how the body works. Two, how to use complementary styles of yoga to bring the body and the mind back into balance. So using hatha, yin, and restorative yoga and mindfulness practices to do that. And you'll also learn this ground up approach to the body. So how we can align the body by thinking about how it functionally works. I'm a scientist by training, so this was like between being in a body that needed a little bit more balance and being a biologist by training. Understanding how the body works was kind of definitely what I was going to be drawn to when I became a yoga teacher. And so in this program, you're going to start to learn how can we align our practices from the ground up, how can we design programs from the ground up, and how can we sequence a class in a way that makes sense. And that's one reason when you're a student in the program and you're going through the practices that your body feels so good and relaxed after each practice because of the thought that I've put behind it that's in relation to how the body works. So as a teacher, this would be fantastic for you to take. All right, so the program enrollment closes on Wednesday night, and the program officially starts next Monday. So a week from today. Oh, someone had asked, do you have support from me? And you do through the group coaching calls, like I mentioned, and the unlimited access through the Facebook group and through my email account so that I can give you as much customization as you need and as much support as you need as you go through the program. That being said, you might be someone who's like, I like to fly on my own. You can fly on your own too. There's students who've done that. But I'm here for you to help you as you're going through as well. All right, I think though I've answered most of the questions. I don't see any questions that have come in. If there are any, let me know. Okay, so I haven't told you about the bonuses. So I wanted to tell you about the bonuses and why they've been put in. So in Whole Body Reset, Refine, and Realign, I've included 4 bonuses. One is the private Facebook group and accountability partner to help keep you motivated and to develop a community of people who are interested in wellness like you are and going through the same thing that you are. Plus, I'm in there all the time to help support you and personalize your practice and give you new practices depending what's coming up as you go through. 2, you've got the 8 yoga and back care classes in the yoga and back care module. That way you can get short practices in on days you don't have a lot of time. You have 5 restorative practices in the restorative yoga module. And then my favorite, which I haven't told you about yet today, is the myofascial release module. So if you're new to the world of myofascial release, you may have seen people in the gym using these rollers. And so what you're basically doing is self-massage. And so we're going to use tennis balls or yoga tune-up balls, myofascial release balls, in 9 different classes that range from targeting your feet, lower legs, upper legs, hips, spine, shoulders, neck, even arms and hands. Ooh, and a little bit in the head. And these 9 classes perfectly complement each of the modules in the program. So that after the 10 weeks together, when you have lifetime access to the program, what I want is this really to be your go-to. So I had spent time going to chiropractors, I've done acupuncture and massage, and while I love all of those things, I can't do those things every day to take care of my body. But the things I do in this program are the things I do every day to take care of my body. And now you'll have that toolkit that you get to use for yourself. So those aches and pains that are familiar might be things of the past for you. And you might actually surprise yourself with how comfortable you can feel when your body comes into this balance, strength, and flexibility. Okay, and then as a special bonus for being in the class with me today, anyone who signs up by tonight at 11:59 p.m. Pacific time, I know everyone's in different time zones, so Pacific time, Los Angeles time, will get access to the whole body sessions, which are 3 60 to 75 minute classes designed to reset your whole body in that 60 or 75 minutes. There's a strength and flexibility building practice, hatha practice, a mobility and relaxation practice with the yin yoga, and then a 60 to 75 minute restorative practice, which is such a sweet treat. And if you paired them all together in one day, it would be like an in-home retreat for yourself. So if you sign up by tonight, you'll also get access to that as part of the program. All right, well, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate your time. If you do have questions, reach out via email. And after the class, I'm going to put the link down below so you can find out more and register for the program. I hope you'll be joining me. We start Monday, and it's really, I love to see how great the students feel who go through this program, and sharing the journey with you for 10 weeks is an incredible experience to get you guide through all of this and set you up with a consistent yoga practice that works really well in your own body. So thanks everyone. I'll talk to you soon. Bye now. Bye Ellen. See you later.